See you walking through the crowd. You smile like sunlight breaking out. You talk to them, you laugh so free, but you never turn your eyes to me. I know your favorite kind of song. I hum it quietly all day long. You pass me by and never know how many times I let you go. You're a poem I never read aloud, a dream I carry when I'm in the clouds. I hold my breath when you're around, but never make a single sound. I'm loving you in silence, where no one hears the cries. I keep my heart behind these walls and wear a perfect smile. You'll never see the pages I filled with all your names, but I still love you endlessly, though nothing ever changed. Oh, you talk about the ones you like. I nod and say they seem alright, but deep inside my soul just breaks with every truth my heart can't fake. I watch you from the window seat while you wait on some crowded street, wishing I could say your name, but fear just plays the same old game. You're a song I'll never dare to sing, a secret winter in my spring. I trace your face in morning rain and let the silence hold my pain. I'm loving you in silence, like stars that light the dark. You'll never know how loud it is inside a quiet heart. You walk away so gently while I stay here unseen, still loving you in silence, like it's all I've ever been. Maybe in another time I would have told you you were mine in some brave version of this life. You'd see the way you flood my mind, but here I stand behind the glass, just watching every moment pass. And though we breathe the same day's air, you'll never know how much I care. I love you, but you don't see. I'm right here, but you never look at me. And it's okay, I'll just stay, loving you quietly, day after day. I'm loving you in silence, when no light ever shines, but I still hold your memory like it's some sacred sign. You'll never read these verses that I write in my head, but every line is filled with you, though know it came from someone true, who quietly kept loving you.
You walked into the room like a flame. Everyone turned, calling your name. And I was there, just part of the air, breathing the same, but going nowhere. I tried to smile, I tried to speak, but my voice was small, my knees were weak. You looked right through me, clear as glass, like I was no one, just someone to pass. I've written your name in hidden lines, told all my secrets to the sky, but you were chasing bright as stars, while I was breaking behind bars. Your eyes never saw me, even when I stood so close. I whispered love in silence while you chased a different ghost. I faded in your laughter, got lost behind your dreams. Your eyes never saw me, but you were everything to me. I know the way your fingers shake when you try to hide a heartbreak. I've watched you fall and held my breath, wishing I could heal what's left. I memorized your every move, the songs you loved, the dance, the groove, but nothing I did ever changed the fact I was just out of frame. You told me stories of someone new, and I just smiled and said for you. I lit the candles, drew the rain, but you still never spoke my name. Your eyes never saw me, though I was right there every time. You leaned on me when others left, but never crossed the line. I lived in all your shadows and prayed for you to see, but your eyes never saw me. Still, you meant the world to me. Maybe I was born to care, from behind the glass, from somewhere where love is real but never known, a heart that beats but walks alone. I screamed your name into the night, but silence swallowed all my light. I wasn't made to be your dream, just a tear that falls unseen. You smiled at someone else again, and I just turned away in pain. You held their hand and kissed their face, while I stood frozen in my place. You laughed like I was never there, and maybe that's just always fair. For some are born to only love, but never get the love they dream of. Your eyes never saw me, even when I bled inside. I gave you all I ever had, still you never tried. I would have held your pieces, but you never dropped them near. Your eyes
I always saw you. Even when you looked right through, I always saw you. Even if you never knew.
Chasing shadows of your love. Late night walks with headphones on. Your voice plays in my favorite song. I see your smile in traffic lights, and I chase the thought through sleepless nights. You're somewhere out there living free, while I keep you in loops on repeat. Like vinyl scratches, time slips slow, but I still follow where you go. I wonder if you've ever known the poems I wrote but never shown, the nights I stared at glowing screens, typing words I never send or mean. Your name was inked on every dream, but you live far beyond that scene, while I stayed stuck in pages torn from stories that I'm on alone. I'm chasing shadows of your love through city lights and empty clubs. Every face reminds me of the one I never held enough. You were a dream that always woke me up. Now I'm just chasing shadows of a love that never noticed us. The coffee shop where you once smiled still keeps me waiting all the while. I sit and sip the same old brew, imagining I'm there with you. I see your world through tinted glass, moments that I let slip past. If I had one more chance to try, would I just freeze again and lie? I never asked for you to stay, I only prayed you'd look my way. But you were lost in neon dreams, while I got lost in in-betweens. You had your stage, your lights, your crowd, while I was soft and never loud. You moved like music through the haze, and I just watched from far away. I whispered love into the wind, hoping someday it might begin. But every time you passed me by, I fell apart behind a sigh. I wore a mask so you won't see the quiet storm inside of me, and all the ways I tried to be enough for you, though silently. I'm chasing shadows of your love in every song, in every hush. I write your name in coffee steam and trace it down forgotten streets. You were a star I watched from far, too bright to ever catch or guard. So here I am, still chasing dust of love that never turned to us. I still walk the street you crossed, where I once dreamed and almost lost my grip on what was real and true, but still it always leads to you. You laugh like you've forgotten me. The truth is you never had to see. I never asked
just to hold your hand, just to be someone you'd understand. But I was background, quiet hum. You danced while my song stayed unsung, a melody that never played in all the scenes you brightly made. Sometimes I think, if I said something that night, if I told you how I really felt, would it have made a difference? Or would I still be here, chasing echoes of a silent heart you never knew? And maybe that's the way it had to be. I built a world where you and I walked home beneath a silver sky. We shared soft looks and endless talks, and held each other long, long walks. But every night I wake again, alone in sheets that know your name. And though it hurts, I never leave the dream where you belong to me. I'm chasing shadows of your love, in morning fog and midnight rust. In strangers' eyes I search for signs, but all I find are empty lines. You were a verse I couldn't write, a fading star beyond my flight. Still here I am in quiet hush, chasing shadows, chasing us, of your love, just your love. Only shadows, only dust. But I keep running, always running for your love, though it never chased me back. Every word I never said.
I sat beside you in the rain, but never told you about the pain. I smiled and joked, I played it cool, but inside I was a fool. I wrote your name inside my chest, but locked it tight just like the rest of all the dreams I never shared, of all the times I wished you cared. You laughed about the love you lost, and I just nodded, paid the cost of being close but not too near, of hiding hope behind my fear. You talked of stars and other skies, while I got lost in your brown eyes. I knew the risk, I knew the game, still never dared to say your name. I kept it safe, I kept it still, like letters never meant to feel. But now you're gone, and I'm left here with every word you didn't hear. Every word I never said still lingers in my head. They echo in the night like ghosts I can't forget. I loved you more than truth, but stayed behind instead. Now all I have is silence
your coffee black and always carried weight in your back. You sang off key but with a soul that made my broken pieces whole. But I stood still, afraid to break, afraid of what my heart might stake. So I let you drift with someone new and told myself you never knew the way you laughed when no one saw, the way you'd blush without a flaw. I bottled every tiny spark and hid it deep within the dark. I played the role, I bit my tongue, I held you close but not for long. And when you asked if I was fine, I nodded, lying every time. I should have spoken when I could, I should have said the things I should, but silence wrapped around my chest, and now I live with this regret. Every word I never said still dances in my bed. They crawl into my dreams and haunt the tears I shed. I loved you from the start, but stayed so far instead. Now I just breathe in silence, and every word I never said. Maybe you would have turned to me if I had spoken honestly. Maybe love was one word near, but I let it disappear. And now your laughter's just a sound I chase like echoes all around. And I replay 1,000 scenes where I say what I really mean. I watched you walk into the night. You didn't look, I dimmed the light, pretending none of this was true, pretending I wasn't losing you. And all the questions that you asked were answers I buried in the past. I wonder if you'll ever guess the love I wore beneath this mess. Every word I never said still hangs above my head, like raindrops that won't fall, like calls that go unread. I should have told you then, but told myself not yet. Now you belong to silence, and every word I never said. I should have said I love you, should have whispered, don't let go. But I froze in all that silence, and you'll never really know. I wrote it in 1,000 lines, but none ever touched your eyes. Now my truth is just a secret, and I say it to the skies. Sometimes I speak it in my sleep, those hidden vows I couldn't keep. And I wonder if in dreams you hear the words I never let come near. If I could go back, turn the page, erase the fear, escape the cage, I'd shout your name into the wind and never let it end within. Every word I never said still bleeds in lines I bled. I lost the war I never fought, and now I live with dread. You moved on, but I remain in all the silence I have fed, with nothing but the shadow
never said, but I still feel. I never spoke, but it was real. Every word I never said was always meant for you.
You found love in someone's arms while I stood still outside the charm. You smiled so wide, your world aglow, and I just watched, afraid to show. I held my breath when you walked near, but stayed a ghost behind the fear. You never knew the way I'd ache. Each time you laughed, my heart would break. We danced as friends, side by side, while I was drowning deep inside. You talked of dreams and future plans with someone else who held your hand, and I just nodded, played the part, while hiding scars behind my heart. But in my soul I built a shrine where you were mine in some lost time. In another life, maybe you'd be mine, where stars align and hearts entwine, where I could say what I feel inside without the fear, without the pride. In that world you'd see me too, not just someone you barely knew. In another life we'd cross the line, and maybe then you would be mine. You called me late when nights felt wrong. I stayed online, I stayed so long. You cried for him, I heard you break, but never said what I could take. You said you're kind, you're always there, and I just smiled through the despair, wishing once you'd look and see the love you missed right here in me. If I could turn the sky around, undo the days I let fall down, I'd find the moment we first met and whisper truths I still regret. But this is not that kind of tale where hidden love will one day sail. This is the story left behind of someone loving in rewind. In another life, maybe you'd be mine, where timing's right and hearts align, where I could speak without the pain, and you would love me just the same. In that life you'd take my hand, we'd build a world where we both stand. In another place, in another time, maybe then you would be mine. I saw your wedding photo shine and told myself that I'd be fine, but deep inside a quiet voice still breaks with every faded choice. They say some love is meant to teach, to make us grow, to never reach, but I still hope, though years are gone, that fate will get it right next dawn. I still believe in other lives where our two paths would not divide, where I could hold you in the sun instead of watching you choose someone. And if the sky rewrote the page, erased the silence, calmed the rage, maybe you'd look into my eyes and see the truth I hid in lies. This life has drawn its final line. You're theirs and I am not the friends. I carry you through every day, in all the words I never say. And when I sleep, you still appear, like maybe you were always near. Don't say it's foolish to believe that somewhere, someday you might see that souls like ours could intertwine in some sweet space beyond the time. Maybe the stars will try again in dreams beyond the now and then. Maybe we're more than what we seem, a love that waits beyond the stream. In another life, maybe you'd be mine. We wouldn't have to draw the line. I'd speak the words I kept so deep, and you would fall instead of leap. We'd kiss beneath a gentler moon and never say goodbye too soon. In another life, beneath that sign, maybe then you would be mine. Maybe you'd be mine. Just one more try, another time. Maybe you'd be mine. If not this life, then next I'll try.
I play the chords when no one's near, and whisper notes you'll never hear. Your face appears in every line, like ink that fades but still defines. I hum a verse at 2 a.m. while thinking of you once again. Your laughter echoes in the beat, a melody that tastes so sweet. I sit beside a windowsill where quiet dreams refuse to still. And in the hush your shadow stays, wrapped in lyrics I replay. I write of moments that we missed, of hands I wished I could have kissed. You'll never hear these lullabies, but they still hold your quiet eyes. I write your name in songs where no one else belongs. Each line a little piece of you, each note a love I never knew. You'll never sing along, but still I'd play it strong. 'Cause loving you's the only thing that makes me feel like I belong. Your morning coffee, black and warm, became a loop in every form. The way you speak, the words you choose, have made my silence softly bruise. You smile and I pretend it's fine, while jotting down another rhyme. You pass me by without a clue, but still the music speaks of you. I never told you how I feel, so I composed instead what's real. You live inside this quiet tune that only plays when I'm alone. I built a world on simple keys where love can float without unease, where I can hold you in the air without you needing to be there. I write your name in songs, in verses short or long. You're every minor chord. I bend the start, the middle, and the end. You'll never hum these lines, but still you're every time. The heart behind my broken beats, the reason why the silence arrives. I saw you dancing yesterday with someone else who stole your gaze, and still I smiled and turned around and wrote another soft breakdown. My journal's full of hidden signs of how I kept you in my mind. I named the tracks with coded grace so no one sees your secret place. You're in the space between the drums, in every rest, in every strum. You're in the silence of the bass, in every pause I can't replace. They ask me where the feeling flows. I say it's something no one knows, but truth is it's your silent stare, the way you laughed and touched your hair. I write of skies we never walked, of conversations never talked, of love that lived in written bars and disappeared beneath the stars. I write your name in songs, it's where my soul belongs. Even if you never hear, you're the reason it appears. I breathe you through the strings, you're the sound behind these wings. No matter how the story bends, my music starts and never ends. Maybe someday you'll find a track that brings a memory rushing back, and wonder why it feels so true, why every note still sounds like you. And maybe then you'll understand the quiet touch, the unseen hand of someone who just stood so near, writing songs you'd never hear. I wrote of rain, I wrote of fall, of endless nights and empty halls, of echo steps that fade too soon, of you beneath a paper moon. And though we never danced for real, I dance through every way I feel. With headphones on, alone in bed, I play the words I never said. I write your name in songs where all my love belongs, a private stage, a quiet flame, a world that softly speaks your name. You'll never hum this tune, every silence.
I knew it from the very start. You had another beating heart. Your hands were held, your eyes were claimed, but I still whispered out your name. You smiled and it lit up the room, but not for me. I knew the truth. Still I stayed close, I stayed around, hoping you'd hear my silent sound.
I saw the way you looked at him, the way your walls would fall for him, and I just stood there like the air, invisible but always there. You talked about your future plans, of holding tight to his warm hands. I bit my tongue, I bowed my head, and let the tears fall back instead.
I wanted to be selfish once, to say the words I always shunned, but you were never truly free, and love was never meant for me. You were always someone else's, even when you laughed with me, even when we stayed past midnight, sharing dreams and cups of tea. I was just the space between your heartbreak and your daydreams. You were always someone else's, and I was never in your scenes.
I remember that rainy day, you called me just to talk and stay. You cried for him, you broke apart, and never saw my breaking heart. I gave you silence wrapped in care, but you never saw me standing there. You held his name like sacred gold, while I stood warm and you stayed cold.
I tried to tell myself to leave, to find a way to finally breathe, but how do you walk from a song that plays inside your soul so long?
You call me friend like it was light, but every syllable cut like night, and I would have given all I had for you to look at me like that.
You were always someone else's, even when you brushed my hand, even when our laughs were tangled, like we built our secret land. I was just a passing line in your poem about someone's eyes. You were always someone else's, and I was left to memorize.
I pictured nights where you'd be mine, but woke alone each single time. You talked of love like it was fate, and I just sat there second place.
And though I cheered for your new days, a part of me just slipped away. For every time I watched you glow with someone else, I'll never know. I found your photo years from now, still felt the ache, don't ask me how. You smiled like you were truly his, while I just vanished in the mist. I burned the songs I wrote for you, but melodies remember too. They echo through these lonely halls where once I waited for your calls. You were always someone else's, even when you said my name, even when you needed comfort, and I held back all the flame. I was never meant to stay in the role of maybe someday. You were always someone else's, and I was just one step away. and I was just a borrowed light, a quiet space between your storms, a shoulder in the dead of night. I was never in your fate, just a pause before you'd wake. You were always someone else's, and I was always wide awake. You were never mine to love, but I loved you all the same. Even when you never saw, I whispered you in every name. You were always someone else's, and I stayed loving you anyway. Without a hand to hold, I walked with you, but steps behind. You talked of love, but never mine. I smiled each time you looked my way, but kept the truth a breath away. I watched the sunlight kiss your skin, but never let the light come in. I lived inside a quiet hope, while love slipped farther down the slope. You held their hand in open air, and I just stood like I wasn't there. You didn't know I memorized the curve beneath your sleepy eyes. Each laugh you gave, each word you spoke, became the thread I slowly broke. I built a world on dreams and lies, and never asked the question, why? I'm falling without a hand to hold, no arms to catch me, just the cold. I gave my heart with silent grace, but you looked past my waiting face. Each tear I cried, you never knew. You loved the world, I only loved you. I'm falling with no one there to see, no one catching me. I danced alone beneath the rain, wrote your name inside the pain. I told the stars about your smile, they wept with me for just a while. I passed you once on 2nd Street, you waved, my heart skipped every beat. But all you said was see you soon, and left me talking to the moon. They ask me why I stay so still, why I don't chase what others will. But how can you unlove the flame that warms you even without name? You burned inside my every song, but I was always singing wrong. Your melody was never mine, I stayed between the notes and time. Still I stayed so desperately. to break, to fall for you, for heaven's sake. Maybe this heart was meant to learn that not all fires are meant to burn. But I still reach out in the dark, still search for you in every spark, still write your name on bathroom walls, still answer when no one calls. You said goodbye like it was air, so light, so free, like I'm not there. And all I did was nod and smile, then cried alone for quite a while. I played your song 1,000 times and still got lost between the lines. Each lyric screamed a bitter truth. You were the dream that I outgrew. I'm falling without a hand to hold, without the warmth that makes me whole. I gave you all I didn't say, in every glance I threw your way. And now I drift like autumn leaves in winds that never once believed. I'm falling into memories that only ever cared for me. I wish you'd seen me when I stayed, when all the others walked away. I wish you'd known how much I gave to smile for you and still behave. But love is cruel when left unsaid. It haunts the soul, it fills the bed with shadows that don't say goodnight, and dreams that vanish with the light. I'm falling without a hand to hold, into a silence growing old. You never knew, you'll never care, that I once wished you'd find me there. I fade into the quiet mist with all the words I never kissed. I'm falling, still falling, and no one's reaching out for this. No one's reaching, no one's seeing, no one caught me while I was falling.
I left you notes you'll never read, in melodies you'll never need. I watched you laugh beneath the sun while I stayed quiet, undone. You walked with joy, your eyes aglow, and I just followed soft and slow. I knew my name was not in sight, but still I stayed just out of light. I saved the seat across from you in empty trains and cafe blues. I thought of things I'd love to say, but silence always led the way. You lived your life in vivid hues while I sketched mine in shades of you, and every moment slipped like sand from fingers that you never held in hand. Even if you never know, I'll keep loving from below, from corners you don't ever see, from dreams that never set me free. I don't them with open grace, while I just watch from my own space. And maybe I'm a fool to stay, to give my heart and not display. But something about the way you breathe makes me believe and never leave. I wrote your name on fogged up glass. Each time I knew the love won't last, but still I trace those silent lines and write your name 1,000 times. I see you live, I see you grow, and it still warms my soul, you know. Though you don't know the way I care, you live inside each whispered prayer. They ask me why I never speak, why I stay soft, why I stay meek. But love like this don't make demands. It lives in songs and open hands. I walk the path behind your trail and let my secret love inhale. I give the world the best of me and save the rest where you might be. Even if you never know, I'll still show up in every show. You won't see me, but I'll be near, in silent thoughts you barely hear. I don't need the world to cheer, I only wish your skies stay clear. Even if you never know, this love has nowhere else to go. I play this loop on quiet nights of what we were, in softer lights you never knew, and that's okay. I loved you anyway. Sometimes I dream you call my name, but wake to find it feels the same. The quiet hum of hope remains, like gentle mist on window panes. And in that haze I breathe you in, though loving you has never been the kind of thing that ends with yes. Still I hold on with tenderness. I see you smile across the floor and wish I'd said just something more. But all I give is inner flame that loves without the need for name. And maybe that's the beauty here, to hold you close without you near, to be the wind beneath your pace, to love you without leaving a trace. Even if you never know, I'll never need You walked in with the sunlight in your eyes, and I forgot how to breathe, how to lie. From that moment, something changed in me, but you never saw what I could see. You smiled like love had found its way, but not to me. It passed it straight, and still I stood, a quiet shore, wishing waves would bring you more. I laughed along, I played the friend, while praying it would never end. You told me stories late at night, and I just held the fading light. I knew your heart was never mine, but still I stayed in every line of songs I sang, of dreams I drew. Half of my world belonged to you. Half of my heart was yours, even when you closed the doors. Even when you held their hand, I still tried to understand. You never knew the love I gave, the quiet way I tried to stay. But through it all, through pain and wars, half of my heart was always yours. I watched you fall in love and glow, while I stood still and let you go. They had your eyes, your morning kiss. I had the ache, the near miss. You said you hoped I'd find someone who'd love me like the rising sun, but you were always that for me, the only light I'd ever need. I traced your name on window glass in lonely nights that wouldn't pass. I whispered prayers into the wind, hoping love would start, not end. But silence answered every time, while you kept walking out of line. And though you never heard my voice, you were my heart's unspoken choice. Half of my heart was yours, though I never got the cures for the way I burned alone, while you made someone else your home. I never asked for you to stay, I just loved you anyway. In every breath behind closed doors, half of my heart was always yours. You called me once in late July, your voice unsure, your spirit dry. And I just listened, gave you space, while hiding pain behind my face. You said the world felt heavy then. I nodded, tried to not pretend that I'd still catch you if you fell, even if you'd never tell. They say some love is meant to fade, but mine was never times to trade. It grew in silence, pure and still, a fire you never tried to kill. I gave you all I had inside, even if I had to hide. I built a home with unseen walls, where you
is yours. Even in silence, even in shadows, even if you never knew.